Hey everybody, and welcome back to another book review. So I just finished the second book in the Fourth Wing series, the Iron Flame book. So good. Like, a lot of people that I've been seeing kind of had a problem with this book because it's a lot of world building, and it is definitely a lot of world building. But for some reason, I liked it. I liked it so much. And I think it's because it's kind of told through the lens of, in the first book is too, but especially in the second book, it's told through the lens of old text. And me being a historian, dealing with history all the time, I love stuff like that. Just having that old text piece of it is it's so good. So kudos there for Rebecca Yarros. Really good book. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. I just really liked it. I love the continuation of the story. Love the extra pieces that they're adding. In comparison to some of the other fantasy books and stuff that I've read over the last couple years that I really like. Think Children of Blood and Bone and stuff like that. This is just so smooth. Just really smooth, really good. Love the character development for most of the characters and things like that. I also love the twist. There's several twists in this book. I don't want to give too many spoilers away because it's still a pretty fresh book, but yeah, there's so many twists in this book for plot and things like that just really heighten it, and they aren't super terribly predictable. It's definitely always a possibility, but they're not a bad predictable possibility. You know what I'm saying? So again, in this book, we're still following Violet, and Xaden, and it's kind of almost like two books that got smashed together, truthfully. You really could split it into two different books. So the first half of the book, Violet and Xaden are really trying to get their lives back on track. They're trying to get their relationship back on track because Violet has discovered, of course, that Xaden has lied to her, and she's discovered that her brother's alive, and that he's been lying to her in technicality because she didn't know he was alive, right? But there's the first half of the book just feels, very much a continuation of her trying to reconcile with all of the men in her life. And then as the book goes on, it switches to, okay, now we're focusing on this war that is getting more dangerous. It's getting more concerning the closer we get to certain dates. Specifically, the winter solstice is what they're kind of working around. And so there's a lot with understanding of what's happening in this revolution, as they start calling it, to fight for all people and not just one group of people, which is really kind of the crux of the whole book, is that Violet and Xaden's crew, they're very upset with their home country because their home country is willing to let their neighbors die and their neighbors fall apart, even though the threat is just as important for them as well. It's just they have the ability to have a protective wall, or ward stone, as they called it. And the other places may or may not have a ward stone. And if they do have a ward stone, it's not been activated. So then they're figuring out how to activate it. And that just, really kind of hits home also to just kind of how a lot of countries are. It's like, okay, your literal neighbor is under attack and you're not willing to support, you're not willing to help. And then when you're under attack, you're like, well, our neighbors need to come help us. And they're like, what have you been doing? And so it's very interesting to see kind of how each character is feeling about that. They talk through a lot of the other worldliness. Because I've been audiobooking this mostly, it took me a second to kind of follow a lot of where things were. So I did have to go look at a map, because it's a lot. There's so much world building that's happening. But it is so good. I do really like the audiobook. The girl that reads the audiobook is arguably one of the best audiobooks I've listened to. Just very, emotional, even though she's, just reading a scene. A lot of times when people read an audiobook, when they're reading the scene part of it, it's not as exciting or whatever. It's when they do, you know, all the character voices and you're like, okay, that's cool. But like this one, she's like getting emotional just reading the scene, you know, like what is going on, and like her voice is getting higher and louder, and she's great. She's great. So really like that. But yeah, I mean, again, if I have a complaint, we all know what the complaint is, so we're not surprised there. But again, I think I said this in the last video. Sex does not further the plot, ever. Like, no one has proven me wrong yet on this. Not a single author, not a single movie director. No one has proven me wrong on this yet. And this book continues to, like, again, prove my point. It doesn't further the plot. It never furthers the plot. It's just boring. And we can save a lot of time because the story itself is so good. The story itself is just so good that, like, you're just taking away from the meat and the crux of the story. In addition, though, it also proves my point that if you start your relationship based completely on the physical aspect, your relationship is going to come through or come up with a lot of other issues when those issues arise. And we're seeing that with Violet and Xaden. Like, she's like, oh, I love him. And he's like, I love you too. But he's willing to continue to keep something secret from her. And then he's also like, well, you didn't ask me the right question. And Violet gets frustrated by that. She's like, well, how am I supposed to know what question to ask? And you know what? I'm kind of in the Violet camp on that, because, like, if you're having a relationship and a true relationship is full of communication, and yes, there are some secrets that he is keeping from her because of safety. Because of the safety of the rebellion, which becomes a revolution, or because of the safety of the people involved, or her safety. You know, he's trying to make sure that she is going to remain safe, and keeping her in the dark on a lot of things is very important. But also, he's not being truthful about who he personally is. And so therefore, your entire relationship is based on not quite a lie, but like based on untruths. And not openness and not communication. And so she's getting frustrated by that. And I'm with her on that. Like, I'd be frustrated too. But I also wouldn't have started a relationship on just physical, just saying. So, like, it's very interesting. And I know, like, a lot of people are probably like, it's just sex, it's fine. And I'm firmly in the camp of, like, yes, I understand that is a, like, piece of a relationship, but again, it is a piece of a relationship. And because their relationship is almost exclusively, like, piece of relationship in most everyone's world, their world is like this, right? And that's causing more issues. And there's some interesting quotes at the beginning of each chapter, and one of them is talking about the fact that, like, you know, if you build your relationship on untruths and lies and not great communication, when differences arise, you're going to struggle more. And that's exactly what happened. Which, you know, cool way to do the characterization of both of those characters. But yeah, it gets a little annoying for me personally. Just because, you know, like, it never fails that it's, like, right when there's, like, something major happening. So we find out in this book that, well, you find out in the last book technically, but more about it in this book, that Xaden dated a girl, and that basically it's just, like, implied that he never really, like, truly loved her. Like, he did, but, like, he didn't. And in this book we find out, you know, kind of what's up with that. It was really more of a betrothal. But this girl's seeing it as engaged, and so she's really mad when she meets Violet, and she's trying to take Violet out, and so, like, Xaden then, like, saves Violet from this big fight with this girl named Kat, and then, like, Violet's trying to understand what's going on and how Kat's magical powers mess with Violet's emotions. That's kind of her like, realization that she's like, oh, I don't actually, like, I do feel jealous, but, like, because of the way that Kat can manipulate the power, or manipulate your emotions with her powers, it heightens the fact that, like, oh, you're jealous, oh, you feel insecure about things, or you don't feel loved, or all these other things. So, like, she just uses that to heighten it. And then, like, Xaden takes her and they go have sex. Like, huh? like, I felt like it was just like a really interesting growth moment for Violet to realize, like, oh, I am not in control of my emotion. And then she and Xaden are actually having a really good conversation about the fact that, like, she feels insecure about certain things. She feels jealous about certain pieces because it's Xaden. But then he's just like, but like, I'm just gonna have sex with you. Like, okay, and like, it ruins the thing. It doesn't further anything. And if anything, it makes me more annoyed with both of you. That's just how I felt about it. So yeah. But like, overall, like I said, 4 out of 5, really good book. Very much looking forward to the third book, or the next book, I should say. And I will also say, because I've been reading a little bit about it becoming a TV show. I'm kind of curious to see the cast, or to see kind of where they go with the cast. It's just very, it's just very interesting, you know, and it's an interesting mixture of characters, and I would just be very interested to see what kind of cast we get. I would love for the cast to be more newer folks, or maybe folks that we've not seen in a ton of stuff. I also heard that Michael B. Jordan is the one producing it, so like I know it's going to be good. And I might even like put aside my whole, like, I don't do violence, like, or excessive violence, excessive sex and stuff. I might for watching this, you know, like, it just seems like it's going to be a really good show. So we'll see. Don't know when it's coming out, so we've got a while. But yeah, there you have it. That's pretty much all I have for this particular book review. I know it's a very much a newer series, new books and stuff, so I would be interested to hear what other people are thinking and stuff out there. But yeah, if you are new here, welcome. I know a couple more people came over from my husband's channel. So glad you guys are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love having you. And if you would like to see anything with like us watching TV shows, which right now we're only doing Rings of Power. We're still kind of debating if we're going to do another show. Only because we don't want to add too many shows and then the shows start overlapping. But we're really enjoying watching Rings of Power over on his channel. We just finished season 2 finale, which I had already seen. But really great show over there. So if you're interested in that, plus he has video games and K-pop and P-pop and all the things. So hop over there if you want to see that. But over here we just do books. Nice and chill over here. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Love having you all here. And for the rest of you guys, like, comment, share, subscribe if you so choose. Love seeing everybody around. Love having you all. So glad to interact with you all. So I think that's it. And I will see you guys in the next book review. Bye!